Well, it's been a long time since I last raced Le Mans Ultimate, and in that time, new driver ratings have been assigned based on past performance. Now, I've been classed as a rookie due to my lack of track time, and if today's race is anything to go by, it's a pretty accurate description. It's a GT3 sprint race at Le Mans, and I'm going to make a couple of big rookie mistakes to make it far tougher than it really should have been. And if that's not enough, I'm also the victim of a deliberate revenge punt at the end of the race, despite having nothing to do with the original incident. It was nothing to do with me, Gov, honest. Right, enough chat, let's get down to the grid, starting P13. Well, we've got 21 drivers on the grid for this one, but only 8 of them set a qualifying lap time. I was one of 13 drivers not to post a time. Now, that wasn't through choice, it was because I span and invalidated my lap, but it just goes to show we can't pay too much attention to the grid positions here as we barrel down to this first section. Now, I've started from P13 right in the middle of the pack, so I've got to be really careful here as we come through the Dunlop chicane, trying to leave as much space as possible on my inside so that we all get through safely, and it looks like we have done. It's very rare you get the entire field through those first few corners without any casualties, but yeah, we're all through safely, and I'm up into P12. I've gained a position off the start, and it looks like that gain has come at the expense of the BMW right behind me. Mata Hermann started from P9 on the grid, so Hermann's had a terrible start. He's lost 4 positions down to P13, so that's me up into 12th, and I'm in hot pursuit of 2 McLarens in front of me, Jay Hill and Callum Cooper. Now, draft always comes into play down this back straight, but I'm a little bit surprised about how spread out the pack is already, considering it's only lap 1. Normally you can get 3, 4 or even 5 wide down this part of the circuit on the opening lap, but it's not the case here. However, Cooper and Hill side by side as we approach this first chicane. It's Hill on the inside, Cooper on the outside. Who's going to blink first? It looks like Cooper's done just enough to hold on to that P10. And the yellow flags are out. There's a big cloud of dust in the rearview mirror, so we've lost at least 1 driver at that chicane. We'll go back and check out the replay shortly, but for now, let's stick with the live action because I've picked up a good tow down this straight. I've already pulled alongside Hill, and if I play my cards right, I'm able to make a double pass here into the second chicane because I'm now alongside Cooper. I will have the inside entry into the corner, however, that is going to put me on the outside mid-corner. Can I get the job done? Yes, I can. Cooper decided not to challenge that one, so I was able to get to the apex first. Meanwhile, there's a Ford Mustang a little bit out of shape in front of me. That is Kennedy Chikeka. Now, I may have the run on Chikeka here, but I'm a little bit hesitant because I'm not entirely sure which line he's going to pick. And when I do move out to the left, I just took my eye off the radar for a split second, and Cooper was already there. There was a bit of contact, so immediately I've tucked back in behind the Ford. But yeah, that was a little bit careless from me there, so I'm happy for Cooper to take that 10th position. It looks like I might get it back anyway. There's a Porsche facing the wrong way on the outside of that corner. It looked like another car involved too, so yeah, that has put me up into P9. Right, let's go back and see what happened behind us at that first chicane. Now watch the McLaren at the very back of your picture. That is Seamley X, and he has got no intention of stopping for this chicane. Poor Carson Crane Finch in the Porsche. He had nowhere to go at all. Let's watch it again from Crane Finch's on board, just approaching the chicane now, opening up the corner, and all of a sudden, wham! The incoming McLaren completely wipes him out. Now, that incident didn't give me any positions, but the incident a couple of corners later certainly did. We're watching Philippe Zazinski. Just gets a little bit too close to the BMW in front of him and then gets absolutely drilled by the McLaren of Matus Napik behind. Approaching Indianapolis for the first time then, P9. Cooper in front in P8. Then we've got Chikeka 7th and Grolmund in 6th. It looked like Chikeka was a little bit wide through that corner. He clipped a bit of the gravel on the outside. Cooper wasn't quite close enough to capitalise though. I'm right on the tail of Cooper now though, but the rear just steps out a little bit as we exit that right-hander. That is going to cost me big time. Another mistake, and it might cost me 2 positions. Certainly I'm going to lose 1 because Jay Hill is right alongside me now, and I fear it may open up a gap for Jack Clark to get through as well. For now, all I can do is hold the inside line. This is going to be really challenging going too wide into this right-hander. I've got to hug the curb. Any contact here would be disastrous. Hill has gone through, and sure enough, the gap is there on the inside for Clark to go through as well. Yeah, I was just a bit too greedy on the gas a couple of corners ago, and it's cost me 2 positions. I had dropped down to P11, but I am now back into the top 10. You may have seen that big cloud of dust to the left, so we've lost a driver there. We'll go back and check out the replay shortly. But for now, let's watch this battle in front, because Clark is all over the rear of Clement Blynn's BMW. Now, Blynn was also involved in that incident a couple of corners ago. He's rejoined just in front of Clark. However, Clark is getting his elbows out here through these final 2 chicanes, and Clark has passed him. Yeah, Blynn was beaten up a little bit there through those final 2 corners, and it cost him a lot of exit speed. I thought I may have been a capitalise, but I just got caught behind the BMW, and that has opened me up to an attack from Nikita Lutzashin up the inside. Now I'm going to have to hold a wider line here, but I've lost it. All I can do now is hold the brakes and hope that I don't take anyone with me. Miraculously, I don't. Well, I made a couple of small rookie mistakes on that opening lap, but at the start of lap 2, I have made a colossal one. That was a huge error. Well, I've managed to rejoin safely, but I'm down to P14. Yeah, I was holding the outside line, knowing the Porsche was on my inside, but I just felt the rear start to go. We'll check out the replay shortly, but before that, let's see what caused that big dust cloud at the end of the first lap. Well, it was actually the pole position driver, Mikolaj Zawadzki, losing control in that BMW, sliding right across track and into the path of Clement Blynn and Danny Davey. Well, I could have quite easily taken out 2 drivers as well when I lost control at the start of the second lap. That's me and the orange McLaren on the outside. There's the rear starting to step out, and as soon as it did, I was a passenger, but somehow I slid between the 2 cars and avoided taking anyone with me. Well, so much for my top 10 hopes. We're rejoining the live action down in P14. I'm right on the tail of Seemly X. There's a slow BMW in front of us. That is Mata Herman. Herman well down on pace here. Well, I've got no choice but to lift, and that will allow Filip Zazinski behind me to close right in. I've switched the TV cam on now so we can keep an eye on things from Zazinski's on board. We are now past the BMW, and I will pick up a tow from X in front. Will it be enough to pull alongside and make the pass before this first chicane? Well, I may have an opportunity, I am going to move to the inside. It'll probably mean we hit the chicane too wide, so I will need to leave a car's width to my left. It's important to leave some racing room for the other McLaren. I leave him plenty of room. Actually, I didn't need to because he'd already backed out of the corner. I was really wide through the middle of that chicane, but at the moment I am up into P12. However, I suspect that wider line through the chicane might come back to haunt me. It cost me exit speed, and now I'm giving both X and Zazinski a big tow. Now I'm going to hold this inside line, so if X wants to get past me, he's going to have to go around the outside, entering the chicane. Having said that, I won't take too many risks if it's looking tight, and I do just back out of that one. Oh, and look at Zazinski. He's going to have a nibble as well, mid-corner, having a look up the inside. It didn't look like there was enough room. There was a bit of contact, and for a moment I thought my rear was coming around there. Thankfully, we're still facing in the right direction, but we're once again down a position, down into P13. Let's take one more look at this. That's me on the inside. I just back out of it there as X gets to the corner first. But yeah, look at the Porsche having a sniff up the inside, riding over the curb and almost spinning me round there. We were really lucky, both of us, to get away with that one. So back down into P13 then, but you know what? I haven't completely given up hope of getting a top 10 here. I know it's looking unlikely at the moment, but we're only 8 seconds off that 10th position. Now, I say only 8 seconds, that is a big gap. However, look how close P10 and P11 are. Napik and Lutzashin are trading positions. They're clearly battling pretty much side by side, so there is every chance they're going to slow each other down. We could still catch them here. We're not even at half race distance. There is still plenty of opportunity to salvage a top 10 finish. But for now, we've got more pressing matters. Firstly, trying to hold off Zazinski behind, and secondly, trying to get that P12 back from X in the McLaren. So charging down the start-finish straight then to begin lap 3. A 4:15.9 last time around. So that spin at this upcoming Dunlop curve has cost me around 10 seconds. And for the second lap in a row, I approached the curb under real pressure from a Porsche. Thankfully this time I'm going to get through in one piece though. And there's a mistake for X ahead. He's completely missed the chicane. That is going to give me the 12th position back. Yeah, that McLaren just ran in a touch too hot into the corner. He had to abort mid-corner, and that has given me the position. Yellow flags are out. Have we lost someone else ahead? Well, I can't see anything yet, but yes, there is a car in the barrier. That is Kennedy Chikeka, and another car well down on pace in front. That's Callum Cooper. So I'm up into P11 and I'm closing in fast on the McLaren of Cooper. But yeah, Chikeka has had a nightmare start to this third lap. He's actually running P4 here, where he just clips the curb on the inside mid-chicane and it spins him around, and things are going to go from bad to worse. He's already thrown away P4 and now he is going to throw away the race as a whole. He's going to clip another curb on the inside, lose control for a second time, and there's the McLaren just at the front of shot. That was Callum Cooper. So Cooper wasn't involved in that incident. It was a separate accident for Cooper, and actually an identical mistake, clipping the exact same curb and having the exact same spin, except Cooper is going to go back across track. Fair play to the other drivers for avoiding him there. Great work. Okay, start of lap 4. Now, a lap ago I said I hadn't given up hope of getting a top 10 finish, and now I am far, far closer to achieving that target. Just 1.2 seconds separating me and Cooper. And actually, that gap is going to be cut in half as we come under the Dunlop Bridge, because Cooper took way too much of the curb on the inside of that Dunlop chicane. It's now just 0.5 of a second. And I've also got P9 within my sights now too, so all to play for here. Oh, Cooper's gone! Cooper clips the curb on the inside. He's not the first driver to do that this race. And yeah, just like that, I'm back into the top 10, but this curb has caused real problems for drivers this race. Look how well I did to not get caught in that too. Lifted at exactly the right time and crucially guessed the right way around. So yeah, up into the top 10 and now just 0.2 of a second behind Nikita Lutzashin in P9, so things could get better yet. I've used the toe to get right on the tail of the Porsche, but I'm not going to rush into making a move. We're going to get one more lap after this one. I've got a 5-second cushion back to Zazinski behind me, so I think I can afford to play the waiting game here. Either put the Porsche driver under pressure and force him into a mistake, or wait for a safe opportunity. The last thing I want to do is take risks on this last lap and blow my top 10 finish. So yeah, I've got to play the thinking game here. Lots of drivers in front of me have made mistakes when I've put them under pressure, so that may be my best opportunity to get this 9th position, but time will tell. It's actually been a really fun race to drive in. Quite often when you race Le Mans, you get an action-packed first lap and then you spend the rest of the race feeling pretty lonely once the pack spreads out. But yeah, this one has been all go. And just as I say that, the yellow flags come out. So has there been another twist? I can't see any stricken cars in the gravel to the left, but something clearly has happened in front. The yellows are still out. Meanwhile, Lutzashin fluffed his line through that section. Lutzashin started to feel the pressure. Oh, and there's a touring Ferrari. That's Jack Clark. Clark was in front of us, so that's what the yellow flags were for. We have gained another position now up into P9. All of a sudden, my fight for 9th position has become a fight for 8th position. We're going to have one lap to go, and we've got the added distraction of having Clark right behind and snapping at my heels. This is a replay of the incident that Clark was involved in. Oh, he runs into the rear of Adam Brittain. That was the battle for P5. I'm guessing Brittain got back on track sooner because we only picked up one position there. Back to the live action. You can see in the rearview mirror Clark just 0.4 of a second behind. Meanwhile, Lutzashin 0.6 of a second ahead. This is a three-way battle for P8, and we've got one lap to go. Yellow flags are out. And that is Danny Davey in the Mercedes. Davey was in P6, so Davey has come to grief. That is another position gained on this final lap. And I was really quick through that right-hander. I thought I may pick up a track cut warning there, but I got the green light. I got the all clear, and I am now carrying a lot of extra speed. And things are looking good for P7 at this rate. I never thought I'd finish this high when I was back down in 13th position. I said I always fancied a shot at the top 10, but this is getting better and better with less than a lap to go. I'm keen to see what happened to Danny Davey crashing out of P6, but we'll just get this chicane out the way first to make sure that I can hold on to P7. It looks like I have done, because in the rearview mirror now, Lutzashin is having problems of his own with Clark. That will play into my hands. Yeah, here's a replay then of Davey's crash. It looks like he just ran a bit too close to the car in front of him. There's a bit of contact, then there's more contact from the car behind, and Davey is gone. So yeah, all in all, a great afternoon's work. I'm going to cross the line in P7. Clark behind in P8 is still 1 second back. So as I come through this final chicane, I've got no worries now. It's a race to the line and I will get that 7th position. Clark in 8th, Lutzashin in 9th. And yeah, really happy with that one. Delighted with 7th position. Oh, and a big hit after the race is finished. That was Adam Brittain, and I can only guess that he was aiming for Jack Clark because of this incident that we saw a lap ago. Look at Clark, he is completely out of shape as he's pressing Brittain through this section. Clark bouncing off the walls, and I can understand why Brittain is less than impressed with this move. There's no space. Brittain has his rear tagged and gets sent out, but he does rejoin without any loss of position. And there's absolutely no excuse for revenge hits after the race is finished. And it can actually be quite dangerous if you hit someone with a direct drive wheel. I haven't got a direct drive wheel, but this one still hurt. Mainly, I think, because it's the end of the race. You suddenly relax. You're not as tense. You're not holding the wheel as tightly. And that is when injuries can happen. But yeah, that final incident aside, this was a really fun race. And I'm delighted with P7. It's a gain of 6 positions. And when I crossed the line, I was only 9 seconds off a podium finish. So that goes to show just how costly that lap 2 spin was. Another encouraging sign is my fastest lap, a 4:03.8. So yeah, if I'd only got my act together in qualifying, I had the pace to challenge for a race win here. Really encouraging all around and really happy with a gain of 6 positions to get that P7. Once again, I'm really appreciative of all of you who've taken the time to watch the video. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think and I look forward to seeing you again down the road. Cheers for now.